In this practice we use a grid with 4 channels. The ball and players will move up and down alternate channels before going back to the starting point to recommence the circuit. To start the circuit, 9 players are actively involved, with any additional players waiting to start behind the first player. The last player to receive the ball can either dribble or pass back to the start position. Once the drill gets going, players are constantly on the move, and the practice is quite demanding since all players need to be on their toes for the drill to succeed. Try and encourage players in the middle to move away from the pass before moving in to receive the ball. One step back and a quick forward movement is enough to create space in a game. Once the drill routine is perfected, we introduce 4 footballs. In this practice, we use 3 players at either end of a grid and 1 yellow player in the central zone. The central yellow player attempts to receive the ball from one end of the grid and with a minimum number of touches transfer the ball to the opposite end. That is, from the 3 blue players on the left to the 3 blue players on the right. 2 red players act as defenders to increase the pressure by trying to intercept the ball into or out from the central yellow player. These players are not allowed in the central zone. This drill is quite demanding on the central player, and so he should be rotated frequently, say every 60 seconds. Also, a larger overall grid can be used whilst keeping the same layout. Disguised and well-weighted passes from the servers are imperative for the success of this practice. Two teams, yellows and oranges, play totally independent to each other and must play the ball from one end zone to the other. In this example, the teams are made up of 3 players each, with 4 end zone players in blue, 2 at either end. Good body stance needs to be encouraged in order that quick forward play is possible with a minimum number of touches. The fact that 2 teams are playing simultaneously also encourages players to play with their heads up, with an awareness of other players around them, both teammates and opposition players. Players should look to receive the ball side on with a totally open stance. This helps players assess where defenders are, increases their awareness of positions of teammates, and will help shield the ball in the event of a challenge from a defender. Players are encouraged to receive the ball on their back foot, that is, the foot furthest away from the ball. Some simple restrictions can enhance the drill and make sure every player, including the servers, keep on their toes. For example, the player that makes the final pass into the end zone cannot receive a pass back, and so the end player has to look up to assess his best passing option, and the central team players must make supporting third-man runs to receive a pass from a blue player. Supporting runs need to be made as the pass is on its way to the end player, not once the pass is received. The drill can be quite demanding, so be aware of timescale and allow players active rest after a few minutes play. To progress the game, the two servers remain in the end zone and two side players are introduced. These are restricted to play one touch or back to a different player every time. Central players can be changed to play 2v2 as opposed to 3v3. Again, receiving on the half turn is encouraged. Players passing to end blues cannot receive the ball back. This encourages supporting runs from teammates. Numbers can be changed and further restrictions can be used to change the emphasis of the drill. For example, all players in the team need to have a touch before play can be changed to encourage support and communication. Or touches can be restricted to 2 or 1 to encourage players to play with their heads up and make quick decisions. This also encourages players to see the whole picture instead of playing with their heads down. By using the side players, the players in the centre are encouraged to look up and assess their easiest passing options. It also encourages more options and team support is developed. We now progress into a game with 2 goals. We retain the 2 end zones and also the 2 side players. In this drill, there is an attacking player in each end zone who sets up or bounces the ball for a shot from a teammate. This will encourage good team play. In the central zone, the game remains 2v2, where players are encouraged to open their body up, keep possession and play forward as quickly as possible. Support play and set-up play is encouraged. We now see basic team play with passing, control, set-up play and shooting in the final progression to this practice.